Now on CoastTV News.
Shooting shuts down neighborhood.
A little scary with the kids. Went out back, just really close to home.
The hours leading up to this moment in Angola after a multi-town chase and shootout.
Heat wave continues.
Make sure you're hydrated and have that sunscreen on.
What healthcare officials say is the difference between heat illnesses and heat exhaustion.
Constituent speaks out.
Set politics aside.
A Stell Parker Selby voter calls for action.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Breaching the home of a man they say shot at officers. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our news at 6.
Threats, a shootout, and the standoff all ending in Angola today.
Here's the area we're talking about, Blackwood Drive in Angola. According to police, this is where suspect Jason Arnold was found.
Take a look from our Coast Copter. This shows police vehicles ripping down parts of Arnold's house, trying to get to him before they say Arnold shot himself. CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken live in Angola. Emma, police are still on scene.
Maddie, we're outside of the street where police say Jason Arnold was found dead. As you can see, there's still caution tape here on Blackwood Drive and police presence down there. But before this started in Dagsboro. Police say when they chased Arnold from Dagsboro to here, he drove away, shot at them, and ultimately ended up in his house down there, which started an hours-long standoff that terrified neighbors. The sound of heavy-duty machinery leaving an active crime scene is nothing compared to the frightening shots that rang out last night.
You know, pow, 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 pow.
Police say they responded to a home in Dagsboro Sunday night for a welfare check on Jason Arnold after a report that he was threatening to harm himself and family. For hours, police searched for the armed suspect in the Angola area, the night ultimately ending in Arnold's death after what police say was a self-inflicted gunshot wound suffered in a home on Blackwood Drive. William Panera lives right nearby, and he says he can't believe this happened here.
I just wonder, because this neighborhood is so safe, we don't ever have problems.
Neighbors directly next door told us they were evacuated from their house around 3 a.m. Monday morning. Like any parent, Nathan Porter's first concern was his children.
Definitely different. A little scary with the kids. Went out back, just really close to home. So a little worrisome, especially when you kind of sleep through it.
A terrifying night with a tragic ending in a neighborhood still shook by violence. And to be clear, no officers were hurt. One woman, a 69-year-old neighbor, did suffer minor injuries. This is an ongoing investigation. Reporting live in Angola, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
Now, one thing we want to point out, the homicide unit is investigating, but that's protocol for deadly events. An autopsy also will be conducted, and let's stress how long this all happened. Police first got that call in Dagsboro, where he was allegedly making threats around 11. Then they issued the public alert about Arnold in Angola around 1:30 a.m. It was then noon when police say Arnold shot himself.
Sunscreen in the sand and water bottles on the boardwalk. Doctors and lifeguards say you need both to stay safe in this heat. Coast TV News reporter Zakia Jennings is live in Milton. Zakia, Coast TV meteorologists say it feels well into the hundreds.
Charlie, Coast TV meteorologists say it feels like 123 degrees here in Milton, and I can confirm it's pretty hot out here, but it's a good thing I have my water to keep me cool and hydrated. Lifeguards we spoke with today say staying hydrated is the key to avoiding heat illnesses. Keeping an eye on beachgoers from the Rehoboth Beach Patrol Station. That's what Ella Murray, a lifeguard and EMT, does on a daily basis. Murray says properly hydrating is key to staying safe in the summer heat.
I'd say the biggest misconception is people come out here and they're drinking sodas, they're drinking sugary drinks like Gatorade, and they think that that's hydrating them, and it's actually doing the opposite. It's very dehydrating.
Dr. Nick Perchiniak with BB Healthcare shared how you can spot the difference in heat illnesses. With heat exhaustion,
typically you get dizziness, headache, sometimes there can be nausea and vomiting.
And with a heat stroke,
the true medical emergency is patients will often have mental status change. So that could be confusion, could be seizure activity, or unfortunately they can become unresponsive. And heat stroke is a true medical emergency.
Dr. Perchiniak urges people to call 911 if they notice that someone is having a heat stroke or they are unresponsive. Murray says don't forget your sunscreen.
Just from the very beginning of the day, make sure you're hydrated and have that sunscreen on.
Because summer sun is the reason people love the coast. But no one wants that beach trip to end in the ER. Coast TV's First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams tells us we are just 1 degree off from tying the record high, which is 100 degrees. Live in Milton, Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
The heat wave cooling centers are opening across Delmarva. The Sussex County centers will be at the County Admin Building in Georgetown, the Milton Library, the Greenwood Library, and the South Coastal Library in Bethany Beach, all opening at 10 a.m. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside into Rehoboth Beach. Not too many people out there as we turn it over to the man with the heat information, Paul Williams.
Yeah, we were really in that neighborhood of possibly reaching that record high of 100, a record that was set in 1988. We got up to 99 degrees, just 1 degree shy of hitting that. Tracking the heat, some other locations, we got up to 101 in Willards, as well as Redden, 99 in Georgetown, Seaford, Long Neck, Milton, as well as Harbison, Delmar, Jones Crossroads, and Milford, got up to 98 degrees. We're at 100 degrees in Redden, once again. The heat is ebbing and flowing a little bit. 95 in Harrington, 98 in Seaford. Here's what it looks like, 112 in Seaford right now. It cooled down to 115 right now in Milton, but we got up as high as 124 for the heat index for today at one point. So that's why we have what is called an extreme heat warning until Wednesday night. Let me make this real clear. That means that anyone along the Delmarva Peninsula under this warning should expect the heat index to climb 110 or above for today, for Tuesday, and for Wednesday. We'll talk more about what to expect as far as the burning aspect of the sun coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. And with all that in mind, it brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what is your go-to way to beat the heat?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last news hour. 81% say AC indoors. That's Charlie and I's answer too. Though beach breeze is a distant second place there.
I mean, you could probably do all of these at different points, but if you want to vote in this poll, go do that. Go to coasttv.com or use the mobile app. Plus, you can leave us a comment, kind of give us your insight. You can do all of that, and we'll have updates on Coast TV News at 11.
The Delaware State Legislature convenes again tomorrow, and no one has said whether Representative Stell Parker-Selby will finally join legislators.
Representative Parker-Selby has been absent for every single vote this season or session. That's over 200 votes since January. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is in our newsroom. Brandon, more viewers are reaching out with concerns about the representative's long-term absence.
Maddie and Charlie, Nick DeSercio said he voted for Stell Parker-Selby, but he tells Coast TV he's left with little explanation on what happened and when she'll be back. He says he's disappointed in his own party's actions surrounding the long-term absence of Representative Stell Parker-Selby. Sitting down, turning his laptop on, and typing to Coast TV and local newspapers. That's the only option Nick DeSercio felt like he had on the long-term absence of Representative Stell Parker-Selby.
I can get elected, I can receive a paycheck, never work again, and keep my position. What am I missing here?
What pushed you to initially write this and speak out?
My wife and I, we voted for Stell Parker-Selby because we felt that she was the best candidate. In the meantime, her absenteeism, we're very, very disappointed in her absenteeism.
DeSercio, a Democrat, says he was shocked with how his party is handling the absence.
But you don't expect her to come here in person to do her job?
They've just stonewalled everything, refused to discuss it. And to refuse it to discuss it with voters and constituents, it's inexcusable. It really is.
Since Thursday, Coast TV has repeatedly reached out to House Democrats, and we have not received any response to this story. DeSercio calls on Stell Parker-Selby to explain her absence and future plans. He says someone has to represent District 20.
Set politics aside. Yeah, special election would be the way to go, or appoint an interim representative until such time a special election could be organized.
DeSertio says he has contacted Senator Russ Huxtable's office and emailed Parker Selby herself, which he says he received no response. Is it disappointing seeing your party go down this path with how they're handling this situation?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
DeSertio says he doesn't think there is more he can do with how things are currently being handled. Stella Parker Selby's absence has been attributed to a massive stroke this winter. The session started in January, but she was sworn in from home in March. At that time, the speaker told Coast TV she hopes Stella Parker Selby would be back soon. The session ends next week. Back to you.
We're just getting started this evening.
The Flyers make the move of the NHL season so far, or the offseason anyway. More on Philly's trade to acquire 24-year-old Trevor Zegras.
But first, the trail that keeps on going, where you can find this new nature walkthrough in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
There's a new way to get outside in Fenwick Island.
And no, it has nothing to do with the water.
Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappé live in Fenwick. Kevin, people of all ages can enjoy that new nature walkthrough.
Guys, we are currently in the center of the new Fenwick Island Trail. There's so many cool things about this area, but my personal favorite is all of the bamboo, kind of stretched out to the very end of the trail. But if bamboo is not your thing, don't worry, keep walking and you're going to see something else. Right along Bayard Street and Coastal Highway in Fenwick Island is a trail that you can explore. And whether you're a lifelong local here like Gordon Tutterud or a vacationer like Sunil Lala, the reaction is always the same.
I would never imagine that there was this much undeveloped land.
Oh wow, it goes on for quite a ways.
On Wednesday, the Fenwick Island Council announced the completion of the Fawcett-Oakley Family Nature Preserve, a place where people can cool off in the shade and take a long, relaxing stroll with nature.
It's just quiet and nice and protected back here. It's a little cooler on a hot day.
This was made possible by conservationist Austin Pete Oakey, who handed off the land to Fenwick Island with an agreement to preserve the 2 parcels for the environment. With the effort from numerous committees and volunteers in town, they were able to throw away the sticks, lay out some mulch to walk on, and even add an area to check out some cool plants.
This is lovely for the folks that live here and for the tourists.
So if you're looking for a break from the beach and a little adventure, be sure to stop by the Fawcett-Oakley Family Nature Preserve. Now, according to the Fenwick Island mayor, the town plans to clean up this area consistently, and they're also going to be discussing if they want to add anything else to the trail in the future. I'm Kevin Zappé, live in Fenwick Island, Coast TV News.
We are right now under an extreme heat warning until Wednesday evening. We'll go into more detail on that coming up as soon as we get back. Dangerous heat is in place today. Will stay in place for Tuesday all the way until Wednesday evening as we stay under an extreme heat warning. It's 95 degrees in Laurel. We warmed to 99 for the high in Georgetown today. That was just 1 degree shy of tying our record high of 100 set in 1988. And we've soared. We're 11 degrees warmer in Georgetown, 9 degrees warmer, for example, in Cambridge. Here's where the temperatures are at this hour. We're at 93 in Milton, 98 Georgetown and Seaford, 96 in Bridgeville, 100 in Redden. It feels like triple digits. Salisbury, Delmar, Georgetown, Milton as well. It was as warm as 124. When temperatures are that high, air quality tends to tank, and it's starting to move in that direction. We've gone from green to yellow, meaning that we've gone from good to moderate as it pertains to our air quality index. Here's a look at the extreme heat warning in effect for places like Libertytown, Berlin, Ocean Pines, Ironshire, but also in effect for Georgetown, Millsboro, Selbyville, Pepperbox, Laurel, Seaford, and Bridgeville. This means we're watching out for 110 for the heat index or higher. By the way, the folks in Cambridge, you're under the same warning. Remember, this goes until Wednesday evening. Now, when you have that kind of heat, air quality is a problem. We're not under any air quality alerts, but look, it's in the general vicinity and neighborhood, thanks to a dominant high pressure system that's going to keep it hot and keep it humid, keep it dangerously humid, to be honest. So hot, humid, and hazy for Tuesday. And we're going to need that air conditioner blowing full throttle for Wednesday as well, because we're initially Friday I extended it to Monday and Tuesday, but now we're going to extend it more over towards Wednesday. So we're looking at 3 days in a row of this dangerous kind of heat. So along the coast for Tuesday, we have temperatures at 95 to 90, kind of bouncing around depending on what community you're in. And that means we have big time heat in place. You see, Tuesday we start off in the 80s, but we end up at 100 degrees for tomorrow. We're going to clock 100 degrees, not the heat index, the temperature in the shade, 100 degrees. Milton, Georgetown, just about all the areas throughout the inland region. Then our skeeter meter, which is based on the kind of heat and humidity we have in place, we're going to be extreme with Tuesday and Wednesday and at a very high level for Thursday. See, take a look at this muggy meter. We are at miserable and staying there. We're going to dance back and forth between that and very humid for the next few days in a row. The heat index for tonight, 102 for tonight. Triple digits for Tuesday, triple digits for Wednesday, triple digits even extended into Thursday, and that's when we should get a little rain in here. One last caveat, with all this heat and humidity in place, we also have concerns about the burning effect of the sun. The UV index is going to be at a level 9 for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, drop briefly Friday, and then jumps right back up on Saturday. Meaning, if you don't utilize sunblock, you run the risk of starting the process of skin cancer. Let's not do that. Let's be careful out there, like that old Hill Street Blues moniker. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast, calling for a red alert day because of the heat and the humidity and the high UV index for Tuesday and Wednesday.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Yes, the heat can't stop Summer League hoops in Worcester County. Let's show you what's happening right now on DSN. You've got Personal Touch Detailing playing Young Gunners. That's Somerset County rivalry between players from Washington High and Crisfield. Later on tonight at 7:15, we've got the home squad, Hilltop, taking on the Delmarva Christian Watchmen. And then the nightcap should be an entertaining one. It's Bury Tavern, the defending state champs out of Cambridge, squaring off against Del Mar. And the stove is also heating up in the NHL. The Flyers acquired Ducks forward Trevor Zegras in a blockbuster trade this afternoon. Philly sends Ryan Poling, this year's second-round pick, and a fourth-round selection in next year's draft in return. Zegras is a former number 9 overall pick and has posted multiple 60-point seasons before the age of 25. He joins a young nucleus in Philly trying to make the postseason for the first time since 2020. And the baseball team is also heating up in the city of brotherly love. The Phillies enter today's off day with a 1-game lead in first in the NL East. Meanwhile, the Orioles, they play the Rangers at 6:35. That is for Sports Tonight.
Soaring Over the Shore is sponsored by Morse Roofing and Siding.
Quaint, charming, and full of some rich family ties, Broadkill Beach is another gem on the Delaware Bay. Despite its name, the only thing you'll get killed with in Broadkill Beach is kindness. It's a tight-knit community, and with gentle bay waters, the beach is perfect for young families. A network of 5 families owns the Broadkill store and say the store dates back to at least World War II. Just a quick drive to Milton or Lewis, Broadkill is home to horseshoe crabs and adjacent to the Prime Hook National Wildlife Refuge, making this waterfront living wonderful for both people and wildlife.
Quick reminder, we're under an extreme heat warning, so we have a red alert day for Tuesday as well as Wednesday. Brace for the heat index at 110 or above.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more of our local broadcasts, go ahead and download that Coast TV News app.
NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to have more Coast TV News tonight at 11.